the world right now, it infects everything, and then people start thinking that Hollywood itself is falling apart. And that company, of course, is Disney. Disney had a rough year. I feel like every movie or show that they dropped wasn't received well and did pretty poorly at the box office for Disney standards. Disney had 0 movies that hit $1 billion worldwide this year. You know how many movies hit $1 billion for Disney in 2019? 7. Fucking 7. Now I know 7 movies to hit $1 billion is not really an easy thing to repeat, but how do you go from 7 to 0? I won't count 2020 through 2022 because everyone was dealing with the virus. I won't say its name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I will say though that even with the virus going on, in 2021, Disney still had a $1 billion movie, and that was Spider-Man No Way Home. So something must have gone horribly wrong for them. And that is because of 2 things. I swear every movie they made had some type of controversy surrounding that movie, and also the movies that they were making were just ass. I'll give Disney one thing. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was a good movie, but everything else, trash. The big movies that they released this year were Indiana Jones, terrible, The Haunted Mansion, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, horrible, Elemental, garbage, The Little Mermaid, give me a break, and The Marvels. I don't even need to say anything. The Little Mermaid did the best out of all of these, but the bar is extremely low. You could get someone without a brain to direct this movie, and it would still make $500,000, and that's what it looks like they did. Now for Hollywood itself, Hollywood had 2 movies to hit $1 billion in the box office. Yes, that is kind of low, but I think the quality was still there though. A movie that I think 100% deserved to hit $1 billion, but didn't, was Oppenheimer. I mean, come $950 million. I love how I'm saying it's close, but it was $50 million away. For movies, it was relatively close, but this movie was a masterpiece. If I hear anyone say that this movie's lower than a 9 out of 10, superhero fans, which includes me, have a bias when it comes to seeing superheroes in any type of format. Oppenheimer is the best movie I've seen in the last 5 to 6 years maybe. The 2 movies that did hit $1 billion were Barbie and the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch any of them, but I can definitely speak on how influential these movies were. I mean, they hit $1 billion for a reason. These movies were everywhere. I think Barbie was not really a shock that it was this popular because it's a movie about Barbie, and just making a movie about Barbie, boom, like 50% of the world is at least looking at the movie, and that 50% is women. I know not every girl likes Barbie or liked Barbie growing up, but I'm sure a lot of girls were shown a Barbie or was asked if they wanted a Barbie or had a friend that had one. And for the boys' side growing up, of course we knew what Barbie dolls were. We always heard about them and could have owned one, I guess. And also Margot Robbie is the main actor of this movie, and do I really need to explain why men like seeing her? This movie was destined to make $1 billion. But people also enjoy this movie too. It had an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 83% audience score, so people did enjoy this movie. The other movie to hit $1 billion was kind of a surprise to me, to be honest. Mario is the most popular video game character of all time. I'm not even gonna say probably, because Mario is the video game character. Saying that probably makes my point that I was surprised that it hit $1 billion probably makes me dumb, but I just didn't think that the interest of video games would translate to movies that well. But this movie was a hit. This movie was marketed as a kids movie, which I definitely think was the best move. Because even though the people that grew up playing Mario are older now, Mario is a happy, kid-friendly character that lives in a bright, happy world. Mario will always be a perfect character to make kid content out of. There are other 2 movies that I don't think deserved $1 billion, but I think were great movies and should have made a little bit more. And those 2 movies were Creed 3 and The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. These 2 were just good movies. Just simple, go to the movies, have a good 2 hours of entertainment, and then just go home. It wasn't anything crazy like an Oppenheimer, but they were solid movies to have a good time. That's why I think 2023 has been underrated, because we've had all these good to great movies come out, and I feel like all that's talked about is the end for Hollywood and Disney. Hollywood isn't perfect because I feel like Hollywood is really annoying with the politics, and that will always alienate the other side. So there's never winning with adding politics in a blockbuster movie. Hollywood needs to make more movies like Oppenheimer or Creed, where there really is no politics in them. More movies where everyone can just watch it without being annoyed. A huge problem with movies now is when actors talk about their movies that they're in. I swear all the time, all they talk about is the message that they're sending with this movie and not the movie itself. The message of the movie seems more important than the quality of the movie itself. And people are getting tired of getting preached at by a damn movie about superheroes. The only problem is how things are nowadays. I doubt that they will stop, and I feel like we'll be getting movies like Oppenheimer less and less until a point where every movie is just a woke parade, because they are getting less and less money, and it seems like they don't care. They just want to shove their message down our throats.